Crime is the brother of civilization, I suppose.
Hide the valuables.
Aha!
I see a thief.
Excuse me? I'm going to have to ask you to pay off. Oh, good. I was worried that would go roots up.
I heard an interesting story the other day.
Not another of your...
Hail, chosen of the Queen. We have been expecting you. Queen Irene sent a missive detailing your arrival and orders. You are here to secure the staff of Magnus. Safe in our vault below the city. We have guarded it day and night. When you are ready, I shall show you into the vault. If you would follow me. As you can see, our artisans have built some small amount of civilization amidst this barbaric wilderness. Marbrook will soon be a jewel of the Dominion in this backward territory. As one would expect, we have encountered scattered protests, nonsense about protecting the trees. The local Bosmer are disorganized and flighty. Such outbursts usually fizzle out of their own accord.
Over here, Initiate.
A house of stone? But how did they get the stone to move?
They dug it up and broke it into
The
pieces
Mage's
and brought
Guild.
it here.
If you would
I saw
follow
the
me
wagons.
inside.
I wonder if I...
Behold the Mage's Guild. The paint is still fresh. A marvelous addition to the city. Work remains, of course, but one does what one must on the fringes of the Dominion. The vault is below. Follow me. This vault holds many rare plants that no longer exist in the Somerset Isles. Do take a closer look. I am no scholar of botany, but I know something about our specimens. Valenwood soil is not surprisingly very fertile. These specimens are bound for the royal gardens. This room holds Aeoliad relics uncovered across Valenwood. Interesting, aren't they? We've removed any dormant traps that we know of, so feel free to examine them more closely. I will answer any questions you have about them. The tree gifts. We're not actually sure what it does. This helm is actually from our own collection. But one of our Bosmer allies stole it, and then returned it in exchange for a song. Scholars believe this relic was broken into pieces when it fell from the heavens. They believe there may be others in Hectorheim, the legendary center of the Valenwood. Our ancestors have left traces of their civilization across Tamriel. If we follow Queen Irene, our empire will one day rival theirs. Behold, the Staff of Magnus. What happened? Where is it? shining trees of Aldmeris. We have been burgled. But how? I know not. We have guarded the vault day and night. I placed the staff myself. No, the vault is off limits to all, but wait. Vicereeve Pelador recently toured the vault. The Queen's business, or so he stated. The staff was present before his visit, but I did not check after he left. Unthinkable. Yet, what other conclusion can we draw? Such illusionary magic is beyond the ken of a common thief. To the surface, I must question the watch. None have entered the vault save you and the Vicereeve. I have confirmed it. He departed into the wilderness. He said he had orders from the Queen to bring Naaman's body. He did not return. He was always foolishly devoted to the prince. I pray nothing has happened to the prince's body, too. The Staff of Magnus is an extremely powerful object. There's no telling what wickedness he could achieve if he desired it. Rest assured he would not have accessed the vault if we'd had any suspicion of his loyalty. Someone must inform the Queen.
Chosen of Marbrook, your queen has arrived. Bear witness to the glory of Queen Irene, hope of the Dominion.
Honor and praise, my friend. Do you have the Staff of Magnus? Peladil? Then it's true. He's betrayed us. My brother's body didn't make it to Marbrook either. I knew he loved Naaman dearly, but I didn't think he'd stoop to this. I will once again require your aid.
They dug it up and broke it into pieces and brought it here. I saw the wagons.
It is good to see you, my friend. Greenshade is far more exciting place than Raz expected. He hears now that the Staff of Magnus has been stolen, as if these rebellious Bosmer were not trouble enough. Not yet, but it is possible. The elves in this part of the Valenwood do not follow King Camoran. They claim to be subjects of the Wielder King, some forest spirit no one has ever seen. They mock the Dominion and call Queen Irene an enemy. We do not know. The Battle Reeves sent a soldier, Hazazi, to negotiate with the Bramblebreach clan, but he has made no progress. Now Raz needs to hunt for the Staff of Magnus, so he asks you, will you find Hazazi and sort this out? The Bramblebreach village is just south of Marbrook. Hazazi is there. He likes to complain, but he's a good soldier. He just needs someone with a more sophisticated negotiation style. And by the time you get back, Raz will have a lead on the staff. This one does not understand Bosmer clan politics, but as Raz hears it, the clans of this part of Valenwood have always been wild. Some even sided against King Camoran in the Blacksap Rebellion. Greenshade is the heart of Valenwood. It is very dangerous and very mysterious, and these Bosmer understand it like no others do. Raz would not be deterred, but even Camoran's Vindusk Rangers avoid traveling in this part of the forest. As always, Raz serves the Queen. She wanted to know if the Bosmer here are as scary as they sound. With the Staff of Magnus stolen, though, Raz must make that his priority. This one knows you can handle the Bramble Breach as well as he could. The obvious answer is probably the right one. Peladil. That toad fulfilled Naaman's every wish. Why should that change just because the prince is dead? Raz knew the Veiled Heritance was a disease not so easily excised. If Peladil has taken the staff, we need to find him and discover what he plans to do with it. The staff is powerful and dangerous. All of the Dominion is at risk if we cannot find it.
Aha, a guest. How wonderful. I wonder, would you help my friend and I with a little experiment? We are reconstructing animals. Dead ones, of course. Wouldn't do such a thing to live ones. That would be barbaric. Not to mention impractical. Specifically, we are creating an elixir that will cause small dead animals to wriggle about as if alive. Well, as it turns out, we're fresh out of parts. Rat parts, I mean. I need you to bring us the head, legs, body, and tail from 4 different rats, so we can combine them into an animated rodent assemblage. Oh, I know the whole thing seems rather rash and improbable, doesn't it? But our methods get results. Bring back the rat parts and we'll have a little rodent scurrying about in no time. Why, it'll be almost lifelike. There is a reason for this. One I would prefer to forget. It involves an early experiment with my associate. An experiment that failed horribly. It's not as simple as you may assume, however. When the two of us are involved, nothing is ever simple. No, please meet us outside the Fighters Guild. We must set up our experiment there.
Are you collecting junk for Ardemir's little monsters? Good, good. I make little monsters too. See this? It's an ant-fly worm beast. I mashed them together and added a pinch of Ardemir's life juice. It's an adorably gross little guy, isn't it?
You'd best take care.
My sweet love, she waits for me through storm and shine, cross land or sea. I run to her and together we...
Pretend we're old friends catching up after a long absence. I don't want to blow my cover just asking for help.
Great acting.
I need an assistant to do some delicate tasks, and you've got the right look about you. I'm part of an undercover investigation into a string of thefts in Marbrook. The artisan is a master of his profession. The artisan targets local Altmer, so I draw suspicion. We must capture the artisan before the Queen is targeted. Take my notes.
Finest wares here.
I'll be watching you.
The law of meat, hide, and bone obligates us to use every fleshy thing in the air, on the earth, and beneath the sea. Hence the superiority of Bosmer leathercraft.
It's hard to avoid it. Between you and me, I hope the artisan never gets caught.
Because the thief's obviously a Bosmer. It would only strain relations in the Dominion, further than they've already been strained. Bosmer culture considers theft to be an art, and the closer the object to the victim's heart, the better the theft. And there's more than a few Bosmer who are unhappy with the Altmer building Marbrook and Valenwood. King Camoran Eridon put his cousin Gelthior on trial. Don't worry, justice will be served.
Fine goods at fair prices.
Selling, buying, trading.
Animal husbandry. One of the few jobs here that doesn't violate the Green Pact. But Marbrook's where the money is. You know what I think? That old banker Talqua paid a thief to steal from the rich Altmer so they'd pay to keep their valuables with him. Well, the artisan only targets Altmer who don't use the bank. And don't forget, Talqua has that Bosmer apprentice of his to take the fall.
Zuzek thought Marbrook was a brand new city, but it is very popular already. Even the royalty visit. Oh, it is your lucky day. This one recently came into possession of one of the artisan's messages, written in his own hand. Zuzek does not run a charity. He has kittens to feed. As the artisan's infamy grows, his signature will become highly valuable. Zuzek understands. You have connections with a guild of like-minded individuals. Here, forge copies, and Zuzek shall give a commission. Yes, the Bosmer religion does not allow the use of paper, so they use animal hides instead. Not many use it in Marbrook.
What is it?
Normally I...
Everything is here. Wonderful. Allow me a moment to apply our elixir. Now we address the practical applications of this marvelous elixir. If you will help us one last time, I will increase your compensation. My associate and I have a mischievous nature. It is through this nature we show our affection for our friends. Our close friend Kalima is, as Timaway would say, a grumpy bug. We want to lift her spirits. Place these squirmy rodent things in her backpack in the corner. She'll be back shortly, and then we'll see the fruits of our labor. Timaway and I have a wager. He expects her to double over with laughter. I do not expect that reaction. The second stage is the most important. What use is magical inquiry if it cannot foster relationships? Excellent. Here's your payment. I expect our dear friend will be back any moment, so if you would like to stick around, it's sure to be an entertaining spectacle.
Oh, what is that? Adamir, Timaway, I will kill you both.
She says she wants to kill us, but she doesn't mean it. She says that out of love.
Excellent. Well done. A fantastic experiment, if I do say so myself.
you approach knowing what you want. I was once like that not that long ago. Please share some gold with poor Kurlit. Kurlit hears and sees much, but it is difficult to recall when one's stomach rumbles so. Alas, he does not have the coin for food. 1,000 blessings. This one's night eye has not failed him yet. Kurlit caught a glimpse of a Bosmer sneaking into the bank.
I apologize in advance for any delay in service. My apprentice Nidras went upstairs to attend to personal business. Have I ever? There's been a steady stream of Altmer depositing valuables here since the thefts began. I'd like to see that. I'm an expert in security. No one can enter the bank without keys, and only I and my apprentice Nidras have them.
If you need banking services, my master Talqua can assist you downstairs. Ah, working with Sinar. I noticed you making friends in the market. If you figured it out, there's no use keeping up pretenses. My initial plan was to exercise the right of theft. I steal precious objects from the Altmer, then demand they leave Marbrook for their return. It turns out the Altmer don't respect the right, so I return them. Now, I simply let Altmer hatred do the job for me. You'll know soon. Now, I tipped off the guards that the artisan was in the bank, and here you are, sneaking about. I advise you leave.
Did you find out who the artisan is? The bankers! Why didn't I see it before? You have my thanks for finding him. But now we have to deal with the mess he left behind. The bastard returned the stolen items to the wrong houses. He then sent anonymous letters to the victims framing the owners for the crime. They too easily believe their neighbors stole from them. And we've only just been able to prevent any violence. We must find those valuables. I appreciate the help. According to the letters, the items are in houses across Marbrook. You'll have to search carefully to find them.
What do you want?
Well?
Halt, thief! Aha! I caught you red-handed, artisan. Thieves just can't help returning to the scene of the crime, can they? Pinning the blame on someone else? I won't fall for that. How do you explain those stolen goods you're carrying? You know Sinar? Well, this doesn't prove anything. You might have heard his name in relation to your own investigation. An excellent idea. I was just about to propose. Sinar is on the upper city tier, near the entertainment pavilion. You lead the way. I'm not so naive that I'd turn my back on a common criminal. Captain, I bring great news.
I'm afraid you have me mistaken.
Captain Sinar, I have detained the artisan. No time to thank me. I must return to my rounds.
God strike you. I can't believe he just blew my cover. Please tell me you have good news. Thanks, Stenda. Things were getting tense. I know you're not the artisan, thanks to our careful investigations. You're free to go now. We'll return the items back to their original owners.
What do you want?
Dark moons. These crazy Bosmer make no sense. Hazazi comes to negotiate on behalf of Queen Irene to hear their grievances, and all they do is dance and jest. Hazazi has only been here a short while, and already he hates this village. What negotiations? These dungy elves don't want talk. They say they only answer to the Wilder King. Who is this? Who knows? They'd rather pull Hazazi's tail than give him a straight answer. It's not fair. Hazazi always gets the worst assignments. Hazazi likes this idea. If you can just get the Bramble Breach to make sense, this one will be impressed. Hazazi thinks it's a wild guar chase, but if you want to try, speak with their tree thane. May you have better luck than Hazazi.
Hello there. Welcome to Bramble Breach. If you came to see a festival, I'm sorry. It's the off-season right now. Of course, you're always welcome to stay and join us for music and dance.
Do you see how strong these ants are? They can carry a dead bug 3 times their size. Playing with the ants, I build them little houses, give them jobs, and introduce them to each other, so they make ant babies. You know, stuff like that.
I didn't think I was being disrespectful. Sometimes people are just impossible to understand.
Another tourist? Rare to have so many visitors in this part of the Valenwood, didn't you hear? It's much safer behind the shiny new walls of Marbrook. Even King Camoran hesitates to venture into the court of the Wilder King. Negotiate? About what? Oh, I know. You want us to bow to your queen and swear allegiance to your what's-it's-called? Aldmeri Dominion. Huh. Problem is that our allegiance is to the Wilder King, and he doesn't seem to care for your dominion. Ha! Sure. Let me just pull him from my satchel. You people don't understand. The Wilder King manages the entire forest. He doesn't have time for idle talk. Why do you think so many people doubt his existence? Not in person, but I don't doubt the Wilder King exists. He speaks to me in the babbling brooks and the wind in the trees. Other Bosmer petition him for an audience, but I don't need to. He already tells me everything I need to know. I could tell you, but how do I know you're trustworthy? You ask us to share your enemies, but will you share ours? The wood orcs are a plague we can't seem to be rid of. If you help us drive them off, I'll tell you what you want to know. Lurchers. Take seeds from the shimmering tree in the village and plant them in the orcs' camp. In a few minutes, they'll sprout out with a vengeance. The orc chieftain won't surrender so easily, though. Just kill him. Leave the rest to the lurchers. Don't bother coming back here until you've run off the orcs. I've got important business to attend to. Huh. Well, if you plant them in some peat, they sprout into a flower, and then after some time, the flower grows into a lurcher. If you want more than that, you can ask the Wilder King himself, when you get that audience. Huh. They're gifts from the Wilder King, embodiments of the raw energy of the forest. They protect the village. They're not so smart. We can't lead them against the orcs, but if they sprout straight into the orcs' camp, they'll know what to do.
Can you believe that tree thane? Was the tree thane as rude to you as she was to me? All I asked was how one might get an audience with the Wilder King, but the way she reacted, you would have thought I was trying to slaughter her children. Did she treat you any differently? She did? That's funny, because Ander and I offered to drive the orcs away and she turned us down. I don't know, I'm beginning to suspect this is some elaborate Bosmer trick and the whole village is laughing at us when we're not looking. I didn't say that. There is definitely a distinctive magical force in this part of Valenwood, but I fail to understand by what logic the tree thane decides who gets an audience with the Wilder King and who gets turned away. Oh, I'm Aranias. Maybe you've read my book, Spriggans in the Green, Story and Myth in Primitive Bosmer Society? Probably not, I guess. Anyhow, Ander and I came in a scholarly pursuit to see if this Wilder King is really as powerful as they say. We'll just have to venture deeper into the forest on our own. We'll probably get lost and suffer a slow and painful death, but that's the risk we have to take. If you're going after the wood orcs, though, I know something that might make it easier. If you want, you can take the essence from the calliope tree and rub it all over your body to cloak yourself in a haze of forest moths. The wood orcs won't even see you. Oh, one more thing. Ander scouted out the orcs' camp pretty extensively. He might have some useful observations if you ask. Good luck with the wood orcs and that tricky tree thane. Maybe we'll meet again when we find the Wilder King. There seem to be a lot more rumors than any real facts. Some say he's a man. Others say he's a spirit, an embodiment of the forest. What I find most fascinating, though, is the rumor that he actually shapes the entire forest. That's just incredible. Me? I was born and raised in the Somerset Isles on a rather small island known as Silitar. It's a pretty secluded place. Growing up there was what first sparked my interest in studying nature magic. But, well, it was very lonely. Of course not. He's mainly here, acting as my guardian. They warned us that this place was dangerous, and if the Wilder King is really as unpredictable as people say, well, never hurts to be prepared.
I spent several hours watching the wood orcs and evaluating their weaknesses. As a whole, their strength is in numbers. As long as you don't take on the entire camp, you should be fine. The chieftain's the one you have to watch out for. By the look of his scars, he's seen his share of battle, and he knows how to take a beating. Don't expect him to go down quickly. There's a shaman who's never far from his side as well. I'd focus on killing the shaman first. Good luck.
Now kill!
who's not afraid to fight.
My scouts came back singing your praises. They said the Wood Orcs broke quickly after you killed Chieftain Thragdosh and unleashed the Guardians. I wasn't exactly expecting you to succeed. Seems there's more to you than meets the eye. And you're worried I won't hold up my end of the bargain? No, I keep my promises. You got rid of those parasitic orcs. You've earned the right to petition the Wilder King for an audience. I hope I haven't given you a sense of false hope, though. Bosma around here petition the Wilder King for an audience all the time, and he rarely responds. More than likely, you're simply wasting your time. Suit yourself, just south of my home. You'll find the petitioning stone. Just touch it. Probably nothing will happen. If he wants to speak with you, though, he'll appear when you touch that stone. I never said it was complicated. Besides, by scaring off those wood orcs, you just might have improved your chances. The Wilder King sees these things, you know. All right, run along now, and may the forest part to reveal your path.
Welcome to my court, outsider. Since you entered my domain, I have watched your actions with keen interest. You have been generous with my people and more patient than I expected. But I still cannot gather one thing. Why have you come? Again, not what I expected. I think I've heard of this old merry dominion, but I don't see how inclusion in this group would appeal to me or to the people in my domain. Aligning with you would only alienate us from others. Interesting. You think we have common enemies? My only enemies are those who would seek to harm Valenwood. Let us test your theory, though. Show me one of these enemies of whom you speak, so I might better understand. Use the other stone pillar, the one on the platform behind us. Touch that stone pillar and an apparition will appear. One of your enemies, as you say. Fight this enemy so that I might see its true nature. I am pleased to be able to lend you strength to face this enemy from your past.
Strike us down. The veiled inheritance will always rise again.
How can a forest spirit be a king?
I sense the darkness in the heart of the one you fought, but he has already been defeated, has he not? And those like him, they may not all share his darkness. You should have me call these people enemies, though. The veiled inheritance. Yes, I am familiar with this distinction as well. There is one among this group who has come to Valenwood to see me, and I find her curious. Very curious. I'm not inclined to consider her an enemy. She is one who has been blessed with fascinating gifts. Gifts I cannot afford to ignore. You would know her identity, though. I was able to capture one of her memories. Touch the petition stone again, and I will share it with you. Look for the truth.
We have much need of someone like you, Ananias.
Yes, young one. We have a problem in the Valenwood that will require your talents specifically.
I would be honored to help however I can.
An opportunity has arisen to strike a devastating blow to the Dominion, to divide the Bosma.
The Bosma in Greenshade claim allegiance not to King Camoran, but to a man they call the Wilder King.
Killing this Wilder King will drive the Bosma mad. He is very elusive, though, so I will need your help to find him.
You realize we are entrusting you with an important task, I hope, my dear.
Of course, Lady Estrie, you can count on me.
As you've just seen, the young girl Ananias is associated with the Veiled Inheritance. Until I know more about her, I hesitate to call her an enemy. I will have more insight soon, though. Even now, Ananias is on her way to my throne. So she believes. But there may be a greater truth to her purpose here. You may not like this, but I sense the same is true of you. Like the branches of a grat oak, I believe that Aranias' destiny, my destiny, and your destiny are all intertwined. I cannot yet see how these events will play out, but I do know that like Aranias, you must come deeper into the forest. You must eventually come to my throne, but not yet. Each of us is a strand to be spun into the story of Valenwood. You should seek out the spinner, Marrowan. He can tell us how this story began and where it should end. Yes, traveling through Valenwood is a funny thing. It may take them many days to find the path to my throne. You have all the time you need. Find the spinner's cottage and speak to Marrowan. Safe journeys, my friend.
Dancing elves, forest spirit kings. These people are pulling on the tail in more ways than one. You can stay if you want to, but Hazazi thinks it is time for him to return to Marbrook.
I can't believe it. I finally figured it out. This could change everything. Our Lurcher Guardians, I've found a way to give each of them special powers. To make them more effective, of course. The Guardians protect the village, and now we can imbue each of them with different elemental tactics. And the best part is that building them isn't even hard. Well, you see, the husks are the same, grown from local flora. It's the Guardian's guts that make it special. Bring me some thunderbug bellies, dew bugs, and hive seeds from outside the village, and I'll show you how to make one. That was fast, but I'm not surprised. Did you find the things we need to build you a guardian? Wonderful! Now comes the best part, mixing ingredients to give the guardian its powers. Lightning bellies and hive seeds make a fire guardian. Hive seeds and dew. That was fast, but I'm not... Wonderful! Now comes the best part, mixing ingredients to give the guardian its powers. Lightning bellies and hive seeds make a fire guardian. Hive seeds and dew bugs make a wooden guardian. Lightning bellies and dew bugs a water guardian. Yes, it'll be your guardian. Use this husk and build the one you want. Then we'll test it against the others. Lead it over to challenge 2 other guardians. Tell you what, you can even use these healing roots to give your guardian an edge. I've never seen a Guardian fight like that! Incredible! You really know how to choose a champion. This day will go down in our clan's history, and you helped make it happen. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to keep the Guardians under control for very long, but I'm working on it.
Zen's price. We don't deserve this. We've done nothing wrong. I'm beginning to think our clan's just cursed. Driven from our home, then we find a new place to settle, only to have the very earth itself rise up against us? It's not fair. I'm from Clan Drilladan. Undead attacked our village weeks ago. We fled here and found this place just abandoned. No one here. It seemed perfect, so we settled in, and then these stone men, the Hollow, just burst from the ground and attacked. Yes, we're no strangers to battle, but these Hollow, they're unstoppable. Strike one down and another comes forth. Please, if you are as able as you look, Indana still fights to drive them back. She needs help, and fast. I wonder if you weren't sent by Ifrit herself. I hope so. We can't let these Hollow drive us away. We have to hold this ground. We have nowhere else to go. To the north, Drilladan Pass. Our clan has lived in that part of the Valenwood for longer than even our elders could remember. The Altmer came in and built Marbrook not long ago, but we stayed. Until the dead came. Hundreds of them. I don't know, and now that they're far behind us, I don't care. We've found a new home now. We must defend it or die trying.
Did you meet the new commander?
Well met. If you're made of flesh and bone, I'm calling you a friend. These abominations, the Hollow, they've killed our Treefane and a dozen others. What in oblivion are they, and how do we get rid of them? Can you help us? I was afraid you'd say that. And all we know for sure is that the stony bastards are coming from the ground. I was thinking of trying to collapse their hulls, but I need someone to defend me while I do it. What you say? Are you up for it? We're going where the holes are. There are a few big ones they're coming from. Collapsing them may not stop the Hollow completely, but hopefully it'll at least slow them down. If not, well, at least we'll go down fighting. You lead the way. My eternal thanks.
You did it! I'm free!
slow him down. Quickly, we should get to the clan hold fast.
Children of the forest, these grounds are forbidden to you. I warn you again. Leave now or suffer the consequences.
We'll defend our new home to the death. Come back here, you stony bastard!
Let us speak. I can explain what is happening here. Perhaps you can be more reasonable than this, Bosma. These grounds are forbidden. Allowing them to settle here would threaten the health of the Valenwood. If they do not leave, we will purge them with the forest like a destructive rot. No. There is no alternative. These people must leave. Know that this is not our will. We would not harm anyone of our own accord. We would let them stay. But our directives are not self-determined. They were ingrained when we were created. I do not know. We were created by the Wilder King. Perhaps these were his directives, or perhaps they just come from the forest. Regardless, we are here to ensure no one settles in this area. That is our only purpose. I must emphasize to both you and these Bosma that we did not desire this duty, nor did we take any joy in it. But we cannot act against our directives. The only way one might circumvent this is to destroy us, and that would be very difficult to do. Yes. It does not violate my directives to inform you that destroying me would effectively render all the hollow in this area harmless. I have no desire for self-preservation, but know that such an act would do irreversible harm to the Valenwood.
I've never met the Wilder King, but I'm sure he wouldn't have created a bunch of monsters to indiscriminately kill innocent Bosma. Either way, my people have sacrificed enough already. We're staying here, even if that means we do so as corpses. Look, if you decide the stone abomination is right, and we shouldn't be allowed to stay here, I'll go back to the clan Holdfast and we'll take a vote. I warn you though, the Drilladon are not a soft-skinned bunch. I think they'll choose to fight.
I must emphasize to both you and these Bosma, yes. It does not violate my directives to inform you that destroying me would effectively render all the hollow in this area harmless. Very well, but my directives will make this difficult.
You're doing the right thing. Go destroy that bastard so my people can live here in peace. Our scouts say the Hollow have stopped fighting. Some have crumbled into dust, others have simply wandered off. I trust this means you destroyed the Watchmen.
There's no way I can properly thank you for what you've done. This is the first good luck my clan's had in months. This means we can stay here and start over. Wherever you go, and whatever you do, you'll always be a champion of the Drillodon.
I have to admit, I do have some doubts now. But we'll petition the Wilder King for an audience. When he hears of our plight, I know he'll confirm that we can settle here. He'll make sure the wood is protected, too.
So, you're the one that saved the Queen, eh? You don't look that special.
Is it over? We can stay? I almost find it hard to believe. Thank you, though. You have no idea how much. I was beginning to think you wouldn't make it. I've already begun Aranias' story. Yes, of course. I have been waiting for you for some time. The story needs you to play a part in the present, and in the past. You certainly took your time about things. Not your fault, I understand, not your fault. We may yet get this right. Inside the story, you must also enter the story in order to help her. Aranias wants to see the Wilder King. I'm his gatekeeper. To see him, you ask me nicely, and then I tell you a story. A story that you take part in. Yes, the story is one from her own past, but she's convinced that she's living through these events for the first time. You'll play the part of the close friend she never had, someone she can trust, who can change the person Aranias becomes. Ask nicely. Of course. Now, sit down by the fireplace. Imagine there's a nice warm fire burning there, and I'll set the scene. Have a seat by the fire and let me know when you're ready to hear the story. Remember, ask nicely. Imagine the flames are the waves of a vast ocean. Cold waves on a clear blue ocean off the coast of Somerset. Now picture an island. Trees around the island shimmer in the sunlight. Each gently cresting ocean wave sparkles. Many stones, roots, and flowers on the island were shaped by magicka. Only 2 living Altmer possess such power. One of those 2 Altmer stands outside the manor on this island, her island. Go to her, become her friend. The island of Silitar.
I'm so glad you could come. My parents will be back tonight, and I was afraid I'd have to face them alone again. That's why I asked you to come early. I'm not sure what will happen either. Before they get back, I want to be carefree. We can visit some of our favorite places together. Why wouldn't I? We practically grew up together. You're the only one I can trust these days. Bramble Breach? You know my parents have never let me leave Silitar after they saw what I can do. I've missed so much. What happened at Bramble Breach? They were afraid, like everyone else. After I raised up the land under the sea and smashed that ship, even though nobody got hurt, they said my magic was too dangerous. You're the only one who isn't afraid of me. You're not afraid, right? You don't know what this means to me. Now, what will we do first? I know, let's race to the lighthouse like we did when we were little. Bet you still can't catch me. Are my vines getting in your way? Not bad. You're pretty fast. Maybe. You know, I've always had a special connection to the land. Sometimes things happen and I don't even think about it. It just happens. I'm sorry, it just happened. Wait, something's wrong. Can you feel that? The land's in pain, burning hot. Look, the farm's burning! Over the rise. Wait. Too many footsteps, and it's too early for my parents' return. Boots. Boots. There are invaders on Silitar. We have to stop them. Show them. No one attacks my island. What have they done to my farm? Why would they do this? Animals! Does it matter? I'm tired of this. Everyone wants to hurt me or use me, and it stops now. Where were you when my parents tested me? Where were you when I needed you most? You left me. Why are you even here? Do you want something from me too? I'm sorry. After my parents left, I felt so alone. I couldn't find you. People kept coming. They'd attack, hound me, want me to show them what I can do, like I was a circus animal or some kind of pet. I shouldn't take it out on you. No, it's not your fault. Thanks to you, these bastards didn't get very far. They could have destroyed everything. It's getting late. We need to clean up before my parents return. Meet me at the manor later.
Come, I must speak with you once more. In her tale, Aranias was volatile, and she swung between anger, shame, and hope. Feared by her own parents because of her abilities, she faced the bandits alone. This made her bitter and hardened against others, vulnerable to outside influences. You will soon see it for yourself. But first, you should view another scene from Aranias' past. She was a bit younger and excited about her newly found skills. Are you ready? Of course not. For her, it hasn't happened yet. Remember, I put you into her past to help her when she's at her most vulnerable. She lashed out at you just now because she can't fight against her parents. She trusts you. That's what's important.
Why are your clothes all wet?
Mother, what do you think of this tree? How about this island you're standing on?
The ground is soaked. I'll need new shoes now.
I made it.
What? You made the ground soggy?
The island. I made this little island.
What? Ara, what do you mean you made it?
These trees, those rocks, none of this was here yesterday. The ground is wet because I used my magic to pull it up from under the water.
Oh, Ara, what have you done?
Gifted with a rare and powerful ability, Aranias tried in vain to win her parents' affection. So much happened next, but I especially draw your attention to two particular events. One scene is atop the lighthouse, the other in the manor's great hall. They will help you understand more about our troubled Altmer, I hope. No. The greatest challenge comes next, and Aranias needs you. Her parents returned after the attack on the farm, and brought with them the people they considered their daughter's only hope, the Veiled Heritance. She should not face this alone. Getting changed at the manor. You should do the same after you watch those scenes. You'll find a change of clothes in the guest bedroom off the Great Hall. Then, go to Aranias in the garden.
I'm sorry.
You're lucky they're alive. How many more ships will you sink?
It was an accident.
Accidents are spilling water, dropping glass. You lifted a ship out of the ocean with a wall of rock.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Your mother and I will discuss your punishment. Go.
In her tale, Aranias was...
Your father and I leave for Somerset in the morning.
I won't do it again, I promise. I'll try harder. Don't leave me behind!
Don't grovel. It's unbecoming. We will return with help to control your temper.
How much more can I apologize? I said I'm sorry.
No, Ara. It's just... you need training. What you did to the ship, that scares people.
What sort of training, Father? You look good. How do you feel? There are so many people. And look, it's High Kin Lady Estrie. Why is she here? I bet my parents want me to show off my powers. I thought they were bringing me a teacher or something. Hesitant? I hate this, and they've got something particular they want to see. Would you do me a favor and find out? Mingle among them, eavesdrop. Find out what they've planned for me. I'm not sure yet. They'll probably want another statue raised from the ground. My parents treat that like a party trick, and this is a party after all. But the way they're talking, it sounds more dangerous, and I'm a bit worried, to be honest. You asked me this before, silly. I don't know, but when I think about changing things around me, my thoughts come true. Remember when that merchant ship sank? I'd lifted the ground out of the ocean. I just forgot to lower it again.
Her parents invited me to witness her powers firsthand. She lifted the ground up under my very feet. Her demonstration today will not be one of skill, but of character.
Anda demonstrates amazing potential. Why are we bothering with this girl and her clods of dirt? Anda could melt them with hardly a thought. What do they call her? The Rock Witch? Hilarious. Provincial.
Anda has one of the little beggars in the field, away from the house. Aranias will demonstrate her talents on the other. Her demonstration will determine how we employ her talents.
They took my wife.
I'm afraid this one is about to die. I didn't realize how frail Bosma were. Not this goblin-faced meat-eater, his wife. Wait a minute. You're not with the Heritants?
They took my wife. They will give her to the witch, the Rock Witch. The land will kill her. They said the land...
You killed Anda? That's not supposed to happen. Oh, don't worry. It was an entertaining twist, to be sure. But sadly, as real as it may seem, this is just a story. In real life, you were not there to kill Anda. He has had considerable time to grow in power, and his temper has not gotten any longer, if you understand me. It seems the Veiled Heritants have sent him after Aranias, to ensure she kills the Wilder King, or dies if she fails. I met him. He wanted to get into this story, but he wouldn't ask nicely. But there's nothing we can do about that right now. We have a story to finish. Aranias' big moment is about to arrive. You should go to her. In the garden. She's been commanded to kill the wife of this Bosma. You should hurry to her. She faced this alone last time.
This creature is no different from those who burned your farm.
Please.
Aranias, my child, raise the ground up to trap this animal.
Please let us go.
Aranias, do you remember how helpless you were when your farm burned? Good, good. Now tear this animal apart.
This is my test. If I can take the life of this girl, it means that I am willing to make the necessary sacrifices. What about the Bosma who attacked my island? What were they, Dominion ambassadors? A peace mission? If I refuse to kill this Bosma, then what? I'll be alone again. The Rock Witch of Silatar, a monster for fairy tales. You're here with me now, but what about later? No, that's not it. I must trust myself. Believe I can do what's right. I don't need anyone, you or the Veiled Heritance, to guide me. I am stronger than this. I won't murder an innocent to prove I can, no matter who demands it. The Veiled Heritance won't control my destiny. I will. I can do this, and I shall. No, I won't do it!
You were a fine character, most enjoyable, and it looks like you made quite an impression on Aranias. As one story ends, another reaches its climax. Our little bit of mischief was a success. Because of you, Aranias may very well betray her masters to defend the Wilder King. Truly, I hope we never need change a story so extensively again. Though we spinners can do so, it's usually better to let a tale conclude on its own. Usually. Venturing into the story of Aranias' past has sown the seeds of her transformation, but they have yet to sprout. Even now, she and Anda blaze a trail of destruction toward the Wilder King's throne. Their intention is to destroy him. Preserving his life may be impossible at this point, but you must try. Without him, the Valenwood will rage out of control. The only hope lies with Aranias and with you. Go to Greenheart and follow the trail of fire to the Wilder King's throne. Oh, thank Ifra, you're not one of the wood orcs, and you're not one of the strange people in that cave. This has been the worst day, let me tell you. Oh, keep calm. Just have to keep calm. Oh, thank Ifra. This has been the worst day, let me tell you. I went to get some firewood for my master's camp, but the orcs chased me over here. I tried to retreat into the cave, but now there's a whole village in there. It was empty just last week. Sounds crazy, but I know what I saw. I overheard the villagers talking about a caretaker and a tree. Maybe you could find this tree and discover what they want. I hope they're not invaders. It's much too freakish for my blood.